this so that I can share later. All right. All right, thank you. And I hope everyone can see my screen. And so I'll quickly go into a PowerPoint presentation first, briefly to describe how we can register for the e-resource from both on-campus and off-campus locations. So briefly, the talks actually cover broad areas in terms of subject and discipline, but at UHAS, we have been subscribed to just the Biomedical and Life Sciences collection. And so what I'm going to take you through now will actually guide us to register as users of the Biomedical and Life Sciences collection of the HS talks. All right, as I mentioned earlier, this presentation is actually going to cover the first topic, that is how to register. For the other two, which have to do with exploring the features of the user interface of the HS talks, and also learning how we can embed these video lectures in our courseware, that will be a live demo. We'll go online to see how that is done practically. All right, so to start with, if you are on campus, okay, and even in off-campus mode, whether you're at home or present on any of our campuses, simply log on to the university library. This is a URL down here, okay? https://library.uhas.edu.gh. Now, once you're on the library homepage, point to e-resources and then to subscribed resources. And the submenu that pops to your right, you'll see at the far bottom, you have HS Talks. All right. So you simply click on that, and that will open the HS Talks Biomedical and Life Sciences collection straight away. Now, this first part, as I numbered it 2A, is what you will see if you are connected to a campus network before clicking on the HS Talks link from the library homepage. So it doesn't matter which campus you are, or where Trafalgar, Dave, or Sokode campus, that is the main campus. All these campuses have their IPs registered with the HS Talks already. And so irrespective of which campus you currently are, simply go to the library page, as I showed. Maybe I can go back one step. So at the library homepage, you move to e-resources as shown in the white box. Under the e-resources, just point to subscribed resources, and in the pop-out menu on your right, go straight to HS Talks at the far bottom. All right, that is what opens this for you. And you see, once you are connected to campus network, the HS Talks system welcomes you directly with full access. And it tells you you have been identified as a UHAS, that is University of Health and Life Sciences, Ghana user, all right? So at this stage, what I would advise right now is that since you may want to access these talks from a location outside campus, and particularly perhaps on a different device, it will be good at this point to click on sign up as shown with the red arrow, sign up. Now, I'll explain further about this Logon mode. In this on-campus mode, you don't necessarily need your sign-up credentials. And whatever device you actually use at this stage while on campus, even when you move outside of campus or connect to your private network, you will still be given full access, because the first time you logged in with your device while connected to the campus network, your device has been authenticated and recognized as a UHAS user. And so even if you go outside of campus, at home or anywhere else, and you use that same device, you will still be granted full access. All right. Now, the problem happens when you might change device. Perhaps on campus, you used your laptop, and then at home or elsewhere on a bus, you want to log into the same collections and listen to a few talks using your mobile phone. In that case, since your mobile was not authenticated while on campus, you won't be able to have full access. So the best advice is once you log on to a campus network and you are given full access here, click on sign up. All right. The next one, which I labeled as B, the option B, is that perhaps someone is watching this tutorial right now who is not on campus. Now, if you are off campus while trying to access the HS Talks from the library page, this is what you see. You see this one says, welcome guests. You have limited access, all right? You can only view or watch limited length demo talks. Now, at this point, if you are not on campus and yet you want to sign up so that you can have full access, then simply click on the Learn More link, Learn More, all right? So let's explore the option B, where someone currently viewing this is outside of campus but wants to register. After clicking the Learn More link, your next page will be that.
So what I want to do is when you look at the recovery as compared to this one, you will see a very sharp deviation.
Okay, I think
very sharp deviation. This is because of the pathological condition that under.
All right, sorry about that. I had to mute all participants. All right, thank you. So if you have this next interface from the click you did on the Learn More from your offsite attempt at the login, the option you will choose is to log in via organization. All right, log in via organization. Then that will give you access to select your organization. In our case, it's going to be UHAS. All right, so here you have to select your institution. So I know there are several universities, so I simply keyed in health to have a quick access. And you can see it pops up a number of universities that have health, and I can see UHAS is the second one after Texas. So University of Health and Life Sciences, I select that. Now, once you do that, it opens the sign up form for you to fill out. Now, on step 3, you can see I displayed 2 versions of the form. The one on the left is the on-campus version. So at that point in step 2A, if you were on campus before clicking sign up, the form on the left of my screen right now is what you will see. There's only a very small variation between the two, all right? If you watch the one on the left, because you were authenticated via the UHAS IP, the system automatically picked up your college name or university name, University of Health and Life Sciences. And so over here, it simply asks you to put in your position and department and email address, all right? Then on the right, those who go through the off-campus mode, that is, you are outside campus while trying to register. If you go through the option B, that is 2BI and II, this is where you arrive at. The only slight difference here is that here, you don't have the system picking up your institution automatically. Remember, in the previous step, you had to pick UHAS yourself directly manually without the system automatically doing that. So you don't see the institution name here in the offsite form. Rather, you see it emphasizes as a required field, institutional email, institutional email. So if you see the step number 3, I said complete form using your UHAS email address, all right? So whether you are on campus or off campus, remember in the email address field, you must place your UHAS email because that is how you will be linked in terms of ID to the institution, because if you want to sign in later, your UHAS email is going to be your username, all right? Then for the categories of interest, well, you can leave it, it says all categories, leave it at that, but you know that UHAS is allowed the biomedical and life sciences collection, and so that is what you'll be having full access to. So once you have filled in those little details with emphasis on your UHAS email, simply click sign up, whether you are using the off-campus or on-campus mode. Now, clicking sign up will bring you to this point where you will be asked to verify the email address that you actually put in. okay, the system will verify it against the UHAS domain to be sure that you are actually a UHAS user, all right? So all you do at this stage is to go into your inbox, okay, of the UHAS email address that you put in, and then simply, as on this screen, step 5, click on the verification email to confirm that this is actually your email address, all right? Now, once you confirm by clicking this link, the system will now open the password setup interface where you'll be allowed to set your own password, okay, which you'll be using for later login, all right? Now, after this step, you are actually given full access. So next time you want to, browse the collections of the HS talks, you will actually be able to log in from whatever location, on campus or off campus. And because of your email and your password that you have created, which is recognized to the system, you will actually have full access to the collections. So that briefly is about how to have access, full access to the talks from any location. I'll quickly now go online for us to have a demonstration of this. And from the UHAS library, as I mentioned, you simply go to e-resources, all right? And as you point to e-resources, the first drop-down menu, you see subscribed, free online, discovery tools, and then you have space, which is not yet active. So under the subscribed resources, the pop-out menu on your right, you see Kali, Hinari, Teo, and HS Talks. Now, HS Talks is where we are going. So simply click on HS Talks. And currently, you can see it tells me you have been identified as University of Health and Allied Sciences, Ghana. So it means it has recognized that I am connected to campus network. Now, if I really want to see my access status, I can simply click on this organization icon. You can see this small building here. If I click on it, it tells me my connection status is I have full access to the biomedical and life sciences collections, all right? And so this is where if I was outside campus, I would now click login so that I can put in my email and password, and then I'll have full access. But once I'm on campus, I don't really need a sign-in. All right, so you can see from this interface that you can actually search, all right? You can search the talks. But before we come to search, let's start with browse. How do we browse a collection? Simply scroll down, okay? Simply scroll down, and the first group of talks you are going to see is the featured category of talks. The featured talks are actually selected by HS Talks organization by themselves, and they are on the most trending issues or current additions to the collections. So you can see currently we have audio interviews on COVID-19. We have introduction to epigenetics, targeting the cancer microenvironment, and all of that. So these are the editor's own picks as to what is featured. But then we are actually going to our own collections that we have subscribed to, and it is here. You can see that it comes in two groups. You have the broad categories, which is currently the one we are viewing, and you have the therapeutic areas. So you can choose which area you really want. If your interest was in the therapeutic areas or the talks within this particular category, you go here. Or if you just wanted the main subject categories, you come to this side. So this is about the browsable list of the biomedical and life sciences collections. And I want to emphasize at this point that these tabs that you are seeing here actually contain the broad or superordinate categorizations of the subject areas. And so there are all the narrower areas within these groups. So if you pick, let's say, biochemistry, you select biochemistry, for example, you see the brief statistics. It gives us about how many talks there are, how many series we have in these talks, and how many experts have made contributions to this. So with the biochemistry category, for example, there are about 1,030 talks, and there are 105 series. Now, these series are collections of talks that are related, all right? So if you want to see what the series are, you can click on this. So So if you click this, you can see we have a series like the G protein couple. We have principles of biochemistry series, which has 24 lectures. We have the autophagy and only the scientists will help in the pronunciations. This one has 7 lectures, and then the gene drives and active genetics, 11 lectures. And there are more. You can just click on the arrow here, okay, to move next, or you can see the view all option here to see all the series that there are under that particular topic. And so that is about browsing. So you can actually move down and see the various series. You can see, for example, the series 2, Principles of Biochemistry. It's asking you if you want to play all. If you want to play all, it means you are going to be playing series or a slide or presentation after presentation in the entire series, all right? Which maybe you might not want to do. You want to just select a particular one. And when you move up here again under series, you can see that again, it gives you filters, all right? So you can actually filter as you are in the series here, what exact category do you want to view, okay? It is biochemistry here. You see that there are other options that are selected, which you could actually still pick from here. Then you actually are able to also filter by the therapeutic area, date published, and also availability. Yes, of course, some of the talks may be in preparation, all right? And so they may not necessarily be here. Some may be here, but not full featured. And I'll explain what I mean by full featured in a jiffy, all right? Okay, so let's just go back and pick any one of these talks that you want to listen to. So we'll move out of the series. Let's get back to the main talks. We have 129 here. And let's pick the introduction, for example, all right? Introduction, 31 minutes. All right, so Prof. Jerry is actually talking on this. The talk starts automatically, but you can decide to pause it. I hope you can hear the talk. Even if you cannot hear, don't worry, it is playing on my system right now. And I want to explain what the full features of a particular talk include. You can see the first one says playlist, all right? Yeah, playlist because don't forget we picked this particular talk from a series, all right? So it means there are other talks within the series. Then this one that says slides. Now, all the talks in the biomedical sciences and in fact the UHAS talks collections are PowerPoint presentations, all right, that the speakers speak to. And so all these slides are going to be playing one after the other as the speaker goes on. So if you want to see the list, okay, this is just a browsable list, okay, or I'll say a navigable list, all right? So from the introduction to prior knowledge 2, you can see how he actually groups the various sections of his presentation. So what this means and why it is important is that in the UHAS talks, you do not have to listen to a talk from start to finish, all right? You can select particular slides or a range of slides that you feel are of importance. For example, let's say you are interested in the metabolism discussed in this course, or let's move to patterns at ever smaller scales. You can just click straight on slide 8, and you see that your presentation jumps straight to slide 8, and you can see the progress bar, which means that if I start to play right now, it is playing right from slide number 8, all right? So you can always skip, okay? You can always skip within the presentation to a particular slide that you are interested in. Now, the next one provides us the main topics discussed or covered within that presentation. But that one is a raw list, okay? It is not clickable, there are no links. So it only gives you a broad static list of the main topics that have been treated. And then you have links, all right? These links link out to the main sources of these talks. And so if you want to go to those external links, you can go straight from the links provided here. And the last one, but very important, I'm sure as academics will be interested in crediting the source of our information. And so citation is also provided, how exactly you should cite each of these talks that you find in these collections has also been provided fully here. So you can simply copy this and paste in your Microsoft Word or wherever, maybe PDF, if you have an editor, or PowerPoint, wherever you are creating your course, you can simply copy and go and paste there, or format it in a particular style depending on what the style of your environment is. All right. So that is about the talk from the top here. But very importantly, I want to explain that the voices that you hear are actually automated voices. Okay, please, is there a question? Anybody who wants to ask a question, you can simply unmute yourself and ask me, all right, within the course of the presentation. So you can kindly unmute yourself if you have any question along the way.
I'll mute myself. Down here, I can see embed in course.
Okay.
So without copying, can you just straight away from here embed into your notes?
Okay. Let me reserve that to the last part of the presentation. I'm going to come to talk on this specifically and demonstrate how it is done. All right. Okay. So let me just show you the last part of the features, and then we'll come straight to the embed in course and on notes. All right. Thank you very much. All right, so the last feature I wanted to show before I answer Jose's question is, if you scroll down, I was trying to explain that the voices you hear are actually automated voices. That means it is computer algorithms that try to create the voice note and make the transcript. Okay, so sometimes those of us who may not have a good ear for foreign accents, because these experts are from all over the world. Some don't have the English language as their mother tongue or first language. And so the way they might present might be difficult to hear by many of us. They are French speaking experts, they are Portuguese and others. So if you are not able to hear the audio transcript as accurately as you ought to, once you scroll down here, you can see that the speech-to-text engine has actually translated all that the speaker is saying into text. And you can see it slide by slide, every single thing that the author is speaking, they are all down here. Now you could, if you wish, just copy this text and paste in Microsoft Word and edit it the way you want. You can see it's a full transcript from start to finish of all the presentation that the expert has done. So that is about the features of the HS Talks collections. And it is very interesting because whichever one that anyone chooses, whether you are playing the audio, you want the text transcript, you want a quick browse through the various topics that are treated, you want the citation, everything that you want is actually here. All right. Now to the final part of my presentation for the morning. Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Could you also tell them about the closed captions? It puts the subtitles in as well instead of looking at the transcript.
Here,
where it says CC at the bottom of the slide, you can put in captions.
I can get. Okay, yeah.
CC?
Yeah. I get it. All right. Yes.
That's how you add subtitles.
Exactly. So exactly. Looking down here, you can see that there are actually certain features I didn't mention here. That's what Jana is talking about. And I'm sure she's going to introduce herself very soon. She's actually our collection manager at HS Talks. And you can see the minus sign here. I was just talking about the speech aspect of the presentation, which some of us may not be very quick to hear because of the tonation of the speaker. Now, if you click on the minus sign here, all right, it allows you to slow down the speed of the speech, okay? Now, if it is too slow for you, you can decide to click the plus one here to actually increase the speed of the speech, okay, over the text. Now, the closed caption option here, okay? Now, let me play. Very good. So if you activate the closed caption, you can see now it says it is off. Jana. Okay, let me pick color white.
Fred, you have to click on English.
Yes, Jana. Okay, very good. English. All right.
And there they are. Yeah.
Thank you, Jana. Very good. So the same transcript that I actually, let me pause this. All right. So the same transcript that I actually showed you down here, which is the complete set, okay, of the slide presentations in text, you could actually activate the captions within the video itself so that as the presenter speaks, you actually see in transcribed text that's in the English language every single word that the speaker is actually speaking. It's just like how subtitles work in our movies and all of that, all right? So that is about the rest of the features here on the video. And thank you very much, Jana, for prompting me. I missed that, all right? Okay, so now to the last part of my presentation before I invite Jana and all other questions. I mentioned about embedding the HS talks in our course notes on the Moodle platform or in any other environment, be it Microsoft Office, whatever. Now, so once you start to play a particular talk and you are interested in a certain section or perhaps the entire talk, all you simply do is click on Embed in Course or Own Notes, all right? This link down here, Embed in Course or Own Notes. Once you click that, it will generate a preview, okay? Exactly, a preview like this with two options for embedding, all right? We'll discuss the two. The first option says embed as a link, and it gives us how this will work. It says drag and drop the preview below directly into your application. If drag and drop is not possible, highlight the preview either manually or by clicking select preview. So you can see select preview here. You can click this like this to select the preview, or you could do a manual highlight yourself, okay? Like how you drag over text, normal highlight you have been doing or selection that we have been doing, all right? And then use the keyboard to copy and paste. Now using the keyboard here means using shortcuts. So to copy is Control+C, and to paste in your environment is Control+V, all right? Okay, so that is about the first one, and I hope we should try that first before coming to deal with Embed as video, all right? So to do that, I'm going to open two different applications. Currently, I'm in my browser, so I'll restore down the browser so that it doesn't fill the entire screen, and I'll move it to the left. Good. And I was having my, okay, let me just open any of my applications. Could be PowerPoint or Word, all right? Let me open Word. Okay, and I'll make sure the Word tool doesn't open full screen, so it is also restored down. So all I do is once I'm seeing these two applications, all right, the first option is drag and drop. Now, you must make sure that for whatever you are doing in your notes, your insertion point or your cursor is in the current location where you want to place the talk, okay, before you go and drag. So you simply go click, hold, and as you drag, when you move into your new application, you just release, okay, and drop it there. And as you can see, I've been able to successfully drag and drop this down here. All right, good. So I now have the application down here where I wanted it. And it is both in the thumbnail and in the title. But then I'm going to delete this, or I'll keep it there and rather enter and show you another way of doing this. Now, the other way of doing this is that back in the browser, okay, where I have the talks open, when you come down here, there are properties of this preview that have been listed. So it tells you, first of all, I'm in the biggest thumbnail size, that is 200 by 150. But I can decide that in the environment where I want to paste, I wanted the thumbnail to be in a smaller scale. So I can choose 100 by 75. You see that automatically it makes it smaller, all right? That is one way. Or I choose, I don't want the thumbnail at all because the text link here is enough. I have the title and I have the author and the author's affiliation. I think that is enough. So I select none. So you can see the thumbnail is gone. And I can now drag and drop this in my current location, as you can see. So now the new drag and drop that I did is without a thumbnail. That is also an option, all right? Okay, the other option is you can now decide, well, maybe I want just the thumbnail and the title. So I don't want the speaker's name, but that will not be fair. Or I don't want the speaker's affiliation. So yes, I select the thumbnail size. So the thumbnail is back in the preview, but I remove the affiliation. So currently the affiliation is Cornell University, USA. So once I uncheck affiliation, you can see that is gone. So I want only the title of the presentation and the presenter plus this. I don't want the affiliation. So you could do this, perhaps even take off speakers and take off also the title so that you have just a thumbnail. Because the thumbnail actually contains about all the vital information that I need. So I can drag and drop that one alone. And let me see, I think, yes, I have it there. Hoping that if my students are ready and they get to this particular thumbnail, which is also a link, okay, you can see the link is right there. And in this environment, if I really want to click on this link, I'll have to hold down my control key before I can see the mouse pointer change into a link pointer, all right? Okay, so hold down control key and then your mouse pointer changes. And if I click right now, it is going to open this doc in my default browser. All right, whatever browser I set as default, that is what it will open in once I'm connected before clicking that. So you can see that for me, my default browser is the Microsoft Edge. So here it has automatically logged me in, telling me I have been identified as this. And you can see, so a student who is signed in or even on campus, and I should pause the presentation here, yes, the voice. Now, let me explain to you. You can see that I actually clicked on the Word file. It was this one I clicked on, all right? So whether it is PowerPoint or Word or whichever application you present your notes to your students, when the students get to any of these links, whether it is thumbnail only, title only, or thumbnail plus title as in the first case, all right? Once they click on the link, it opens in their default browser. But interestingly, since we embedded as a link, it opens in UHAS Talks directly, okay? Giving them full access if they are connected to campus network, or giving them limited access, allowing them to sign in so that they can have full access to the UHAS Talks. Now, this is what the Embed as link does. Once you are in the UHAS Talks playing, you see that the entire full feature is shown. You can see all the transcripts, the embed in course and own notes, and every other feature that I showed you from our previous. Let me expand my Edge browser. Okay, good. So all the features that I showed you, you can see the slides, the topics, links, and even citation. The student gets access to all these right from their notes, okay, by clicking on the link. That is the embed as a link function. All right, so I'll close my default browser and get back to where we're working here in Chrome. All right, so we are back in Chrome. And the second option that I want to share is the embed as video. And with this one, I will move into our Moodle learning management system and show you how this works. Because in Microsoft Office, currently, you cannot embed HTML codes from any other source apart from YouTube, all right? Yes, if the video is a YouTube video, you can actually embed in Microsoft Office. But if it is actually from any other source like the UHAS Talks, you won't be able to embed the codes. So if you want to play the video within the application without navigating back to UHAS Talks, then you choose this option that says embed as video. And you can see the preview here, but at this point, you don't use the preview. You just simply click on the HTML code below here. It selects automatically blue, Control C to copy. All right, so it copies to your clipboard. Now, one thing that I didn't mention when I was showing the features of embedding as a link, okay, is on the right side here. I showed everything on the left side, but on the right side here, you can see that you can use a segment of the lecture. I mentioned that earlier when I was showing the features of the main talks. So even when you are actually embedding in your course environment or in your application, you are not under any restrictions to embed the entire video. You can choose to indicate the start and end times within which the video must play. That is, if you have listened to the entire talk and you feel that it is from 5 minutes to 15 minutes that the essential information you want the students to have is located, you can enter it here. Or use a slide number. If you think slide 8 to slide 15 are the essential slides that the students should actually be viewing, you simply enter it here, 8 as the start, and then 15 as the finish. Once you do that, and then you move this, whether as a link or embedding as video, to the next place, you realize that when students click to play, and it brings them to UHAS Talks or plays within the course environment, they will only play between the slides 8 and 15 and not beyond. Okay, that is a very interesting thing about the UHAS Talks videos. So right now I've copied this. We are going to embed as video. We'll see how the two work. So I'll keep this particular page, all right? And I'll try to log into our courseware to see how it works. So this is our courseware here. And I'm going to log in as a lecturer. So while I'm developing my course on the Moodle platform, all right, so I teach information literacy. That's what assigned to me. So I go activate the editing mode. And the section that I teach is section C. So I move to section C of the course. And once it's activated, I move down so that I can add a new resource. So these are my resources. I want to add a new resource, all right? That involves a video from UHAS Talks. So simply add activity or resource, and I choose to go down and pick perhaps a page. Okay, I want to add a page where the UHAS Talks videos will be. So I select add. Now in the editing mode here, this is just a dummy course page I'm creating. So I'll say embedding UHAS Talks. That's my title. And then for a description, I say 2 ways of embedding videos. That's my description, all right? And right within the description page here, I can choose that I want to even show one of the videos, okay? So perhaps let me now go for another browser since I'm working in this one so that I can, okay. I want to show the two together at the same time. So I'll go into UHAS Talks here. So UHAS library. And then e-resource subscribed UHAS Talks. Good. And I'm going straight to the biomedical, biochemistry, yeah. Biochemistry, that was where we were. And under this introduction. Okay, so this is a talk that we were trying to embed. So I go here to embed. It prepares this for me. Good. I think I should stop the play. Yes, sorry. Let me mute you. All right, good. So embed in courseware, and I'm going to restore down so that you can see the two browsers at the same time, okay? Now in Moodle, let me restore down this one also. We cannot do the drag and drop, okay? So remember the other option. The other option is to copy and paste, okay? So in the course page itself, where I'm doing the description, I'm going to paste the video as an embedded video by using the HTML code. So I simply click here, copy by Control-C on my keyboard, and inside here, having selected exactly where I want this particular video, okay? I want it right where the insertion point is under my description 2 ways of embedding videos, okay? Now, you click on this show or hide the advanced button, okay? Click on the advanced buttons and then activate the HTML code editor, okay? This is the HTML editor. So once I click on this, you can see that even the first one that I typed has been put in HTML code. So I can press my enter to come and direct here and Control V, okay? Control V to paste this HTML code. So I can now label this here as embed as video, all right? And then I deactivate the HTML, I'm returning to the main view. So you see that you don't see codes again, but for those who are not comfortable with codes. So now I don't see any codes again. If I scroll down, now you are seeing the video itself there. And I have titled it below here as embed as code. And here I can even decide to bold my title. So I select and I choose bold, all right? That's fine. That is on the course description page, and I want to display this, so I check display description on course page. Now, when I move down, that is where the main content is represented. So within the main content, I want to use the second option. So embed video as link, embed video as a link, and then I enter. Now this time, don't forget, I am not embedding a code because I do not want to play it within the course environment in Moodle, all right? I want students to just click on the link and then go into UHAS Talks environment to play it there. So here, again, since drag and drop is not possible, I select embed as link. And then I click on select preview. Okay, that selects everything here. And here again, I can make those decisions that I talked about. For example, I want it to start from slide 8 and stop on slide 11. Okay, and then I want the thumbnail size to be smaller, so I pick this. And I don't want the author's name and affiliation, so I remove the speaker and I remove affiliation. All right, now I am good to go. So I select the preview and Control-C to copy. And once I'm in the Moodle interface, let me do my Control-V to paste. And you see that it comes there and the link is also already there activated. Can you see that? All right, so let's complete our work in Moodle. And then I scroll down and I set other parameters like the appearance, display page name, display whatever. Okay, yeah, display the description. So for all these ones, you already know how to do them on Moodle. So I have finished creating that page and I say save and return to course. All right, save and return to course. Okay, so I can maximize this window now. We are in our Moodle, all right? Now if I scroll down, you'll see the new resource that I have added. Very good, so it is here. And it is called Embedding UHAS Talks. But I'm still in edit mode, so let me just take off the edit mode, all right? So everybody sees it the way it should be seen. It's off now. So I scroll down and here you can see that for this one, I embedded the HTML code. And so I can actually play right within the course. All right. And don't forget, I think I forgot to deactivate the closed captions. So of course the captions are also here. All right. But in real cases, I shouldn't activate that. Okay. So this is the UHAS Moodle platform. We are playing the video right in. All right. Now, the other way is you can see that I embedded in the content itself. So if I click on the page link, it opens the page for me, okay? And if I scroll, I see the one that I put inside the page itself that says Introduction to Biochemistry, where I remove the author's name and affiliation. So if I click on this second one, see the difference? If I click on this second one from this resource, you see that it links me out of Moodle now into HS Talks. You can see from the URL here, okay, moves me to HS Talks, out of Moodle. And right here in HS Talks, you can see that because I set parameters for it, that it should start playing from slide number 8. If you observe, see where it has started playing. You can see the yellow or the gold marks. So it starts from this, and it's going to end just here on slide 11. It's not going to play beyond that. It will not play the prior or the previous slides either, all right? Okay, so that is how we can actually make use of these video collections as additional resources to help our students, especially in this time when most of them are at home and we are trying to reach them remotely, all right? We want to actually add external resources that they can actually relate with while they are away from campus and there's no face-to-face meeting with them. And you can have a host of these resources. There's one more thing that I'm going to actually show, and then I'll end the session and invite questions and additional comments from our collection manager, Jana Short, who is actually in the presentation with us. And that is, let me get back to, okay, right here, let me just pause this. We are still in HS Talks. But let me see if I can get, okay, this is original, all right? So I can close this. And this is what I didn't say anything about. That is about the search. Okay, you can see search over here. All right. Now, the broad categories that we went to view, for example, let me go back and show those pages. Okay. Very good. So, for example, we're in this place where we could browse from the various sections and we choose biochemistry. All right. What if you do not exactly know where your particular subject or topic that you're looking for is located under any of these broad areas? You could actually decide to search. Okay, so I can decide to search about, let's say, imaging, cancer imaging, or just diagnostic imaging. Okay, diagnostic imaging. Maybe that is my subject of interest, but looking over here, I cannot really see where to go through browsing. So I want to search diagnostic imaging and just click on your search or press enter key. Now, expertly, the system does its search and brings me all these. I have, it is showing results 1 to 10 out of 112. So there are about 112 items that match my search criteria, okay? And you can see the filters are here again to help me, you know, sort out per my own criteria what I want. So in summary, you can see at the top here, there are actually 122 talks. Series, I don't think there are any. Let me see, how many series are here? Oh, there are actually 2 series. And how about experts? There's 1 expert. All right, so 122 talks, and I can pick from any of these. An approach to giant cell arthritis, GCA, recent diagnosis, intervention, okay, ophthalmology, whatever. So all these are diagnostic imaging. We have optical imaging in biomedicine, magnetic resonance imaging. So you could see that all these titles were actually hidden because I did not know exactly which of the broad categories under the browsable categories over there to go to, okay? So that is about the search function. Apart from browsing through the broad categories, you can also search a specific topic, very specific or narrow topic area. And if HS Talks has any talks related to that, you will actually receive the feedback as you have seen in this example, the diagnostic imaging. So on this note, I want to thank you very much for being part of this. I know we are all tight on time, but you made time to be part of this exercise. And I will stop sharing my screen at this moment and allow Jana Short, our guest, to introduce herself and add a few brief comments, and then we'll accept questions from everyone else. Thank you very much. All right, Jana, kindly introduce yourself to us. And if you have additional comments, you give us, and then we'll take questions.
No, that was fantastic, Fred. And you were able to show them a lot of things I couldn't have because you have access to your learning management system. So that was actually really interesting for me to see how it works. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
So that was absolutely great. And I think you covered more or less everything that I would have covered. We did add a nice new feature.
Okay.
Hang on a minute. That's my boss ringing me, which I have to just turn him off. Now, what was I saying? I completely forgot what I was about to say now. If anybody has any questions.
Okay.
Hang on.
All right, so I think, are you inviting questions?
Yeah.
All right.
Hang on, I'm just going to send him a WhatsApp to say that I'm on, that I can't talk.
Okay.
Just,
I was afraid.
Yes.
I didn't know whether I missed that part of the presentation, but I saw UHAS talks. Then I could see Henry Stewart. I did the brain behind this.
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry about that. I didn't give any history or background. Okay, I think Jana is here, so she can tell us everything about UHAS talks.
I couldn't hear the question properly. It's very quiet. Can you just repeat it?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
What the colleague asked was about the brain behind the UHAS talks. Because he said you could see Henry Stewart, and I will say, yes, I'm sorry I didn't give a background of the program itself, so you can actually help us with that.
Okay, so the first thing is, this is what I asked in my job interview when I went to work for the company. Henry Stewart doesn't exist. He was he was a fictitious character who was created in the minds of Neil Bradman, who is now nearly 80 years old and is the chairman of the company. And his son, Rob, who is my manager and our director, and who sits in our office here in Israel. Neil, his father, is in London. So they set up the company. I think it started around 2003. And originally it was meant to be just very high level for sort of PhD level and higher. But as time went on, certainly over the last 2 or 3 years, it's been recognized that there's a huge demand for lecture material for undergraduates. So more at the introductory level, like you saw with the principles of biochemistry, that is a series for undergraduates. So every month, new introductory lectures are added at that level. And you may notice when you go to filters, that you can actually select introductory talks as opposed to advanced or intermediate, which is helpful if you're teaching a class of first year or second year students. Then you can actually select easier material for them. Does that help?
Yes, a lot, and thank you. In fact, I myself never knew that Henry Stewart was just a fictitious character.
The ironic thing is there is somebody called Henry Stewart who has a company and actually they invited him to do a couple of talks for the business and management collection, which you don't have, because he actually likes to give talks on good management and how to manage your employees. So he does actually pop up in the collection, not in the biomedical and life sciences, but that was purely coincidence. And they asked him just because of his name.
Okay.
So somebody just clicked on a chat question about nutrition. Where is it? I can't find it now. Somebody was asking if there was lectures on nutrition. Is that right? Oh, hang on a minute.
Yes, Jana.
Yeah?
I can read out a question to you.
Yeah, I can't find it now. It's
Okay, let me read it out to you.
Yeah. Ah, okay.
Yeah, it says, I would like to know if there are talks on nutrition and dietetics that will benefit those of us in that field.
Yes, there was. There are talks in that field. I can't remember if they were. There's a category with metabolism. I'm not sure if that's it. But if you do a search, you'll see that there are lectures on nutrition, and I think you might find quite a lot there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but if you just type those words, nutrition or dietetics, into especially the word nutrition, you will certainly find a lot of talks on that subject.
Thank you very much. Yes, that's what I was trying to explain at the tail end. That sometimes the broad categories that you browse,
yeah.
Yes, they can be
there's
hard
a lot missing.
Exactly. So the
yeah.
search function will help us get the nuanced details of the various topic areas.
You'll find also that if you type in the word obesity, there's a huge number of lectures on that, which also links with nutrition, although it also links with other subjects as well. So basically, you can search for anything you want. The categories probably should be expanded. There's quite a lot that could be added there, but then that would take up a lot more space, so I'm not sure if they're going to do that.
Thank you very much. Please, colleagues, any other questions?
Right.
Yes.
On the platform, I could say, learn more or more in some of the cases. Are they about tutorials? If they are not, then could they embed tutorials?
And please, can you come again with your question?
I'm saying that on the platform, I could say learn more in some of the presentations. Are they tutorials? If they are not, then could they embed tutorials to help unions?
Oh, okay, Jana.
Can you repeat the question? It's
okay.
I'm saying that.
Yeah, no, Jonathan, you're coming very quietly, so it's a bit difficult for me to hear you. Whereas Fred is much louder.
Yeah, let me just say it for you, Jose. Okay, Jana. What he was trying to find out was that within the talks, he could see links that were labeled "Learn More." So he wanted to find out if those were tutorials about how to use the HS talks, or if they are not tutorials about the use of the site and resources, then could there be some tutorials uploaded for new learners who want to learn straight from the HS talks interface?
Wasn't sure where those are.
Yeah, okay. I think maybe if I attempt an answer, Jose, I think the only thing to do is just click on the Learn More that you saw and see what it tells you. It gives information about what additional features or information they want you to see.
Yeah,
so
I can't look at the screen at the moment, so maybe I can.
Yes.
I don't want to switch you off by opening it up. So otherwise, I probably would be able to tell you. If you email me the question, I can have a look and write back, perhaps.
Okay, Jose. So that's another option that you can email Jana.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I'll provide her email right here in a jiffy. All right, so that's Jana's email I have put in the chats. Okay, so if there are any more questions that we have not been able to ask or deal with, I think you can just give her an email, or you can send me also an email. You know my email already, fhaibo@uhas.edu.gh. You can send me an email or send to Jana directly concerning any area of the course or the collections, okay, that we have not adequately covered, or any difficulty or challenge you might face when trying to actually access it from your end.
Yeah, you're very welcome to you're very welcome to write to me directly.
Yes.
And I'll be very happy to help any of you and answer any questions that you send me.
Okay, so at this point, if we don't have any more questions, we have already exceeded the time limit by about 13 minutes or 15 rather. And I'm so sorry again about the network disruption. But again, I'm happy that afterwards we have had a smooth sailing because it was embarrassing, you know, but I thank you very much for staying on. And of course, we are going to repeat this session, and not necessarily for HS Talks alone, but for various other resources specifically, as we have done today. And I thank you so much for being part. We're not very many, but I'm sure it has been impactful, and you will mention this to other colleagues. So in our subsequent trainings, we'll have more numbers joining. Thank you very much and have a nice day. And thanks so much, Jana, for sticking with us throughout, and for answering some of those technical questions and also prompting me about the closed captions. That was great. Thank you so much.
And, it was absolutely great. I think you did a fantastic job. So thank you as well.
Thank you. You're all right. So bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.